In the small town of Charlemagne, Quebec, a place quiet enough that many maps barely marked it, a girl named Céline Dion was born on March 30th, 1968. She was the youngest of 14 children in a family where space, money, and privacy were always limited. Her parents, Thérèse Dion and Adhémar Dion, worked hard to keep the household running. Winters were long and meals were often stretched carefully so everyone could eat. Yet despite the struggles, the home was never quiet. Music filled the rooms almost every day. Her father played the accordion, her mother loved to sing, and her siblings often joined in harmony. In that house, music was not a luxury. It was comfort, celebration, and survival. Long before she understood fame or stages, young Celine understood how powerful a song could be. It was at the family kitchen table where she first discovered that her voice had the ability to stop a room and make people listen. The moment everything changed. When Celine was only 12 years old, her mother wrote a song called Ce n'était qu'un rêve. It was only a dream. Together, they recorded a simple demo tape and sent it to music manager René Angélil. He had already managed several successful artists and received countless demo tapes every year. At first, this one seemed no different. But when he listened closely, something about the young girl's voice caught him off guard. Curious, he arranged to meet the family. Expecting a polished performer, he instead found a shy teenager standing in a modest living room. When she sang, however, the room transformed. Her voice carried emotion and strength far beyond her age. René was deeply moved and decided to represent her immediately. To fund her first album, he made an extraordinary decision. He mortgaged his own house. That bold act showed just how strongly he believed that this young girl from Quebec had a gift the world needed to hear. Building a career. Step by step, Celine's early French-language albums quickly gained attention across Quebec. Her voice stood out for its power and sincerity, and audiences connected with her immediately. As her popularity grew, René carefully planned the next stage of her career. He believed she could reach audiences far beyond French-speaking Canada. Preparing for that leap required patience and hard work. Celine took English lessons, improved her stage presence, and gradually developed a more polished public image. None of these changes altered the heart of who she was. They simply helped the world see her talent more clearly. She approached the process with discipline and humility, understanding that success required preparation. Years later, she often said René believed in her long before she believed in herself. That faith gave her confidence to keep pushing forward, even when the future felt uncertain. A love that faced public scrutiny. As Celine grew older, her professional partnership with René slowly evolved into a deeper personal connection. Their relationship was built on years of trust, support, and shared dreams. However, the significant age difference between them, 26 years, sparked widespread debate when their romance became public. Many people questioned the relationship, and media headlines often focused on the controversy rather than the sincerity of their bond. Through it all, Celine remained calm and confident. She knew the person René was to her, a mentor, a supporter, and eventually the love of her life. In December 1994, the couple married in a grand ceremony at Notre Dame Basilica. The wedding was broadcast across Canada and watched by millions. For Celine, the moment symbolized more than romance. It was the celebration of a partnership that had shaped her life and career from the very beginning. The song that became a global anthem. In 1997, filmmaker James Cameron was completing his ambitious movie Titanic. For the film's closing theme, a demo song called My Heart Will Go On was presented to Celine. At first, she wasn't certain about recording it, but René encouraged her to give it a chance, she eventually recorded the track in a single take. That spontaneous performance captured a natural emotional energy that producers decided to keep exactly as it was. When Titanic became a worldwide phenomenon, the song followed the same path. My Heart Will Go On played everywhere, on radio stations, in shopping centers, at weddings, and at major events. The melody and lyrics became inseparable from the film's story of love and loss. More importantly, the song cemented Celine Dion's place in music history. She wasn't just famous anymore, she had become a voice recognized in nearly every corner of the world. Choosing family over fame. At the peak of her success, life delivered an unexpected challenge. In 1998, René Angélil was diagnosed with throat cancer. For a man whose career revolved around music, the diagnosis felt particularly cruel. Celine faced a difficult decision about how to respond. Instead of continuing her busy schedule, she chose to pause her career completely. Tours, recordings, and public appearances were placed on hold so she could focus on supporting her husband during treatment. Many industry insiders were surprised by the decision, warning that stepping away from the spotlight could harm her momentum. But for Celine, the choice was simple. She wanted to be present for the person who had stood beside her since the beginning. During those years, she focused on family life, spending time with René and their first son, René Charles Angélil. Eventually, René's health improved, allowing the family to move forward together once again. Reinventing entertainment in Las Vegas. When Celine returned to performing in 2003, she did so in a completely new way. Instead of touring constantly, she launched a long-term residency called A New Day at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace. The production featured elaborate staging, choreography, and visual design, making it one of the most ambitious concert experiences ever created. Rather than traveling around the world, audiences traveled to see her in Las Vegas. The show ran for several years and welcomed hundreds of thousands of visitors, earning hundreds of millions of dollars. More importantly, it allowed Celine to balance her career with family life. She could perform regularly while still spending time with her loved ones. What initially seemed like a risky experiment soon became a model that many other artists would later follow. The joy of expanding her family. While building a new chapter in her career, Celine and René also focused on growing their family. After several years of fertility treatments and emotional ups and downs, they finally welcomed twin boys in 2010, Nelson Angélil and Eddie Angélil. Their arrival brought enormous happiness to the family. Celine often described motherhood as one of the most meaningful parts of her life. Watching her sons grow filled her with a sense of gratitude that no stage performance could match. Despite the demands of fame, she worked hard to maintain a home environment grounded in love and normalcy. For a while, it seemed that life had finally reached a peaceful rhythm after years of challenges, loss, strength, and moving forward. In 2016, Celine experienced a heartbreaking loss when René Angélil passed away after a long battle with illness. Just 2 days later, her brother Daniel Dion also passed away. The emotional weight of losing two loved ones so close together was immense. Yet even in grief, Celine showed remarkable resilience. Surrounded by her children and family, she gradually returned to performing. Music had always been a source of healing in her life, and stepping back onto the stage felt like honoring the legacy she and René had built together. Audiences around the world responded with overwhelming support, recognizing the strength it took for her to continue sharing her voice during such a difficult time. Facing a rare health challenge, years later, Celine revealed that she had been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological condition that affects muscle control and movement. The disorder made performing extremely difficult and forced her to cancel planned concerts and tours. For someone whose life had revolved around singing and performing, the diagnosis was deeply challenging. Still, she approached the situation with the same determination that had guided her throughout her career. She began working closely with medical specialists and therapists, focusing on treatment and rehabilitation. Instead of disappearing from public view, she shared updates with fans honestly, explaining that recovery would take time and patience. A voice that still inspires. Despite the health struggles, Celine reminded the world of her enduring spirit when she appeared at the 2024 Summer Olympics opening ceremony in Paris. Standing beneath the lights of the Eiffel Tower, she performed the classic song L'Hymne à l'amour, originally made famous by Edith Piaf. The performance was deeply emotional for viewers around the globe. It was more than a musical moment. It was a symbol of perseverance. Through every stage of her life, Celine Dion has shown that strength and vulnerability can exist side by side. Her voice has carried joy, heartbreak, hope, and resilience to millions of listeners. And even today, as she continues focusing on her health and family, that voice still reminds people everywhere of the power of music to connect human hearts.